Hello, this is Mad Cat, and welcome to a special edition of my channel where we're going to be doing the lovely
Hello,
ladies
this is
announcement.
Mad Cat, and welcome to a special edition of my channel where we're going to be doing the.
Well, that ain't me. My thing's muted.
What's that?
Echo. Damn, she fixed it. Just to let you know, we're live right now.
Okay, I thought that you were that was you talking to me, and I was like, wait, did he just start the stream? What the fuck's going on? Okay.
Well, anyways, as I was saying, this is a special show because it'll be dedicated to the lovely ladies calendar. As
just saying.
Yes. Let me finish my intro. Then you can talk. As I'm saying, we're doing a show about the lovely ladies calendar that we have some special announcement. For those that know, me, Modern Medusa, and Reading Ren were responsible for producing the 2018 calendar. This show is also dedicated to veterans as it is D-Day. And, you know, the proceeds of the many of the proceeds of the calendar also went to veterans. So with me is Modern Medusa and Unvarnished Void, both of which appeared in the calendar.
Yeah. You're very lovely ladies, if I do say so myself.
I rather enjoyed the pictures that Unvarnished gave us. It was definitely a different style of beauty that I think really balanced everything out.
Mm-hmm. Oh, thank you.
Because that was actually one thing we got criticized for, and it's like, well, obviously you didn't look at the calendar, where it's like you only really show really beautiful women and you like as sex crave outfits as possible, and it's like look at May.
And what was it, April? That was the Prim Reaper, right?
Yeah.
Yep. So two very classy looking lovely ladies in a row.
Where is my calendar? Let me show that. Yeah. So how are you two doing today?
I'm doing good.
I'm doing pretty good. Not bad.
So before we go into the announcements, I want to talk to Unvarnished for a moment. What was your experience like doing the calendar?
I found it a lot of fun. I had an excuse to dress up, and it was like a little mini photo shoot. So it was kind of, I thought of it that way, and it was really fun.
I agree.
And did you have any challenges doing it in the park like you did?
Yeah, with my shoes, because I wore, you know, shoes that matched my outfit, so that kind of like, and if you notice, there's like a water and stuff, so I had to be like really careful climbing to places that I wanted to take my picture, so that I didn't want to slip and fall in the water.
Right.
Oh.
And what was your inspiration for your outfit? Because, I mean, when people think pinup calendars, they think like some of the other months, like October with Modern Medusa, or what was Stuttering's month? August?
Yeah, August or September. Yeah, August, I think.
So people think of those photos. What was your inspiration for your outfit?
Well, I already had the dress, so it's already like a style I would wear. But then, like, I bought the umbrella that I have in it so that I could go for a more kind of almost like a Victorian look, but like my main inspiration was like May, so that I could have like the flowers and kind of almost that that hint of like sweetness to it, like sweet and innocent, because I feel like, and I'm still showing off a little bit, like I don't have like, you know, my cleavage covered, so that you can get like a little bit of that like playfulness with a little bit of sweet and innocence to it. And that's what I wanted to portray with that.
Yeah, you did an amazing job.
Thank you.
Hell yeah. I think all the models did great with what they had, even if they just did it, you know, in their own homes. I think it turned out really well.
Now, you do have a copy of the calendar, correct, Unvarnished?
I do not.
Wait, you don't? Really?
No. I think like I asked if like it could be sent to my mom, and then like I forgot and like never gave you the address or anything, because my mom really wanted it.
Oh, okay. Well,
I forgot about it.
I sent it out to you. I had assumed that I had already sent it, but I guess I probably got mixed up, you know, trying to send out everybody else's. But
well, yeah, I just forgot until he asked me about it. I was like, wait, no, I don't.
Yeah, I can definitely send you one. Do you want me to go grab mine, Mad Cat?
Yes, but I want to first say that you did very bad, Modern Medusa. You should feel bad, and Unvarnished Void should spank you.
Hey, it's not my fault. I should have followed up though. Yeah, I'm sorry. All right, I'll be right back. Hey, Reading Ren, what's up?
Hey, not much. What's going on with you, Medusa? Hey, Mad Cat.
Hello. And Reading Ren is another person that co-created the calendar and also was starred in the calendar. I believe that she was month July.
Yes.
Yeah, I have a super bad memory. So unless I have the calendar in front of me, I don't remember anything.
I think it was July or August. I was one of the two. I know it was summer months. I had to pull out one of the calendars to look myself.
Okay, August was Sassy Shelly, and then September was Stuttering.
Yes, I was July then.
Yes.
So let's go ahead and show a picture of Unvarnished.
Here it is. Can you get a good view of it there?
Yeah, we got a good view on that. Let me just click on the image. So playful, full of style, and as she said, just a little bit of cleavage. Not that I ever noticed that before.
There's a perfect amount for the text for the facts about homelessness as well.
Do you want to read those real quick, Vanessa?
Sure. Let me see. Okay. Let me get a good angle here. All right. Okay. Homelessness in America, just because all of the facts just happen to be about America. Okay, so
we're in America.
Yeah. Okay, so 92% of the homeless in America are men, with 12% being veterans. So I don't know, when you think about that, that's kind of sad. Very sad, especially with when it comes to like healthcare too, which is also wasn't healthcare for veterans in the 2017 digital calendar?
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
So you covered
I really liked the words that I got on mine, and like I like the charity that we do for the veterans as well, which is one of the main reasons like I wanted to participate, because like I served in the military, so I feel like that's close to me.
Really? I don't know.
Is there a narwhal division in the Navy?
Yes.
That's awesome.
We're an elite force.
Well, with that first fact where it says only 12% are being veterans, there is an assumption that most people who are homeless are veterans. And I posted that to say, well, no, that's not the case. Only a minority of homeless men are actually veterans.
Meow. Hey, monkey.
Hello.
What's up?
How you doing?
Oh, don't forget the homeless trenders if you actually want to count them in homelessness, because those things are an actual thing. In Colorado, there was actually huge sections of schools that decided just to become homeless to be homeless. So,
Seriously?
Of course.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Everybody forgets
what?
them and the fucking equation because there are just people who just decide. They're like, eh.
You know, it's really funny. I don't think it made the news, but like a couple of weeks ago, one of the guys that I know that is an admin to a few of our pages on Facebook, he and does protests with me as well. But he is the head of security at the college near us, and one day this older woman got on the corner of like a really busy street right next to the college and started flashing people with a sign saying that she was homeless, trying to get money, and she was not homeless.
It happens more often than you think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, having been homeless myself and living in shelters, I have definitely encountered people who actually chose to be homeless so they could better support their families. And it's such a weird concept when you first hear about it, but it's like, well, if they're not at home, they're not paying rent, and that all of their money can go to their family. And usually their wife is like living with their own family as well. So they choose to live in the horrible environment that a shelter is just so they can better support their family.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that goes into it, many circumstances.
I really like that calendar you're holding up. It's actually really pretty. I keep staring at it. I think it's the umbrella. Honestly, I can't remember the actual name of it right now, but yeah, I like it.
Parasol.
Thank you. My brain just like I was about to say it, and then my brain went umbrella.
Yeah, I'm really staring at the parasol as well.
Yeah, it's really pretty. I love it. That's my favorite part.
I like the flowers in your hair too. That's really cool.
Thank you. It takes like a bit to do because it's a milkmaid hairstyle. So
That's awesome. I want to do something fancy with my hair next year.
So what's our
Hey.
second fact?
The second fact says 51% of homeless are single men, while 17% are single women. So, damn. Yeah, actually, I met a man when I was holding the sign around town that said that there's only, well, now there's two, but it said there's only one domestic violence shelter that accepts men in America. And I ran into a man who had actually like been forced into homelessness because his wife just like screwed him over basically and was just like, no, you know, I'm not doing anything anymore. Get out of my house. And he had to take his daughter and nobody would take him, you know,
so
no
sad.
shelters or anything. So he had to just, you know, battle homelessness by himself with his daughter, and he actually overcame it. So yeah, it was really cool. I got a picture with him.
Oh, that's nice though. That's nice that he was able to overcome it. I couldn't imagine doing that to somebody though, let alone somebody I have a child with. Like if me and my boyfriend broke up, like I guess we're not married, but I assume this probably legally the state recognizes us because we've been together for like 12 years. But like when I do marry him, or if I do marry him or whatever, I couldn't like imagine like divorcing him and then leaving him with like nothing like that. Like even if he cheated on me, he's still like the father of my child. And like that's the worst possible scenario that I could think of that he could do to me. And like I still could not do that to somebody because I think that's just beyond.
I just
horrible.
I don't have the heart to do that. I would.
Yeah, I would
feel
I'd feel really bad, and you know, I'd want my daughter's father to be well off because then to me she's well off, and you know what I mean.
Actually, that's something I wanted to bring up is how vindictive this is, and not to erase the victimhood of men in this scenario, but it's also hurtful to the children because lots of studies have shown that having two parents in your life, specifically a mother and father, actually help a child out in many ways to living longer, to having more success in their life. And for a mother, a woman, to say, not only do I not want you to live with me anymore, but I don't want you to be a part of my daughter's life anymore, and I just want you to live on the streets.
Yeah.
That she is hurting far more than just this man. She's also hurting her children.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, karma gets her in the end because those kids end up acting out against the parent who drove the other one away. Especially if they find out later in life.
Yeah. I know I would be like, if my mom did that, I'd be like really, really mad. I probably wouldn't want to speak to her.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. Like years later, they find out that the kids will find out, like, oh, mom drove dad away for no reason. And then mom is no longer either involved in the kid's life or the kid just out and out cuts her out.
I know.
Yeah.
That would be so scary for the kid. Like, damn. I'm
All right,
putting
you
the links to the where you can buy the calendar and merch as well in the chat box right now.
And you want to give us our last fact?
Oh yeah. Okay, so let's see. In the last 15 years, there have been 1,437 reported incidents of attacks on homeless people. So it's very dangerous to be homeless, and especially in, very populated cities, I'm imagining.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, plus the fact that the police don't really like to investigate it because it's just like, okay, well, if you don't want to be attacked, then don't live here. Go somewhere else. That is their mentality.
Well, another thing is like, because like you're homeless and stuff, a lot of times people won't, like, you don't have like a bunch of loved ones to report that something happened to you as well.
Right.
Mhm.
So,
And it's found that many of the people who are attacking homeless are not homeless.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
I didn't
people
think about
who have something in their life go to the homeless and attack them because, one, they'll mostly get away with it, but I'm sure it's also
I did hear
they'll want
about.
to feel superior, like, hey, I have a home to go to, so I'm going to make you feel as bad as possible and beat you up.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Where like kids do it, like the homeless stomping or something like that. I think I did see something like about that before. I forgot what they
even
called it. I
heard-
think it's that, but they go and they'll be like kids, like teenagers and stuff, and they'll go find like a homeless person to assault.
I've even heard about like people targeting homeless for like kidnappings or even like serial killings and stuff like that, because I listen to a lot of like true horror stories or whatever.
Yeah, I
crime
do too.
stories
I
and
watch
stuff.
those. I like to watch those crime shows and watch stuff and read stuff about serial killers. And it's because, like I
Yeah.
said before, like there's nobody to report them missing,
Uh,
really. So they're very
a
susceptible.
lot of
to those
the
kind of
bodies
things.
don't even get identified some of the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, homelessness is a major issue, especially for men, just because 92%, like I said in this lovely calendar right here. But yeah, if you want one of these, follow the links in the description and/or chat box, because it is a very awesome calendar. I am very happy to have it.
So we've got
Actually, I have a lot of them.
we have a number of announcements that we're going to make today, and I'll go at. Do you want to do the list off who got the prize?
I was wondering how you wanted me to do that, because the only real information that I got was their email address. So I don't know if we should announce their email address, but
Oh no, we shouldn't announce their email address.
Yeah.
but maybe just the
So, I
first
don't
part
know.
of it. Well,
actually, yeah. Well, if
it's like an obvious,
sorry.
if it's like an obvious name, like if Unvarnishes was unvarnish at totallyAwesomeChick.com, we could just read the unvarnished part. So
Yeah, right. I mean, I could read the first part and not mention what the rest is, but or I could just read the first part of their first answer.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay. All right. I'll just say the first letter of their
how about
email.
you explain it first what we're talking about?
True, yeah. Okay, so if you didn't know, quite a few months ago, we put out a contest / quiz, or not quiz, but like
questionnaire,
yeah, kind of thing, survey about the calendar to possibly win a calendar and have it sent to you. So only a few people actually responded, so it was pretty easy to pick the pick the winners. There was, I think, like only 9 total, really. So yeah, maybe next year we might get a few more, or in 2020 we'll see. But anyways, so these people are the ones who will be sent a calendar. All you have to do is send us your address and such. So I guess where should we have them send it to? The Lovely Ladies Calendar at gmail.com.
Yeah. And, if you're interested in that, we might hold a second contest to determine if anyone else will receive a calendar. And mostly we're looking for an answer to a specific question. What was that question you listed as?
There's why are men's issues important to you? Where would you hang up pictures from the calendar so people can see it?
So basically those 2 questions. I mean, we did ask several others, but those were the 2 main ones we were looking for. Why is it important for you? And if you're given a calendar, where might you put it so other people could see it?
It's just hypothetical. You don't actually have to put it anywhere. But if calendars don't just have the purpose of being a calendar. Like if I use a calendar for the whole year and then I have, it left over, I'll just cut it right in half down the middle and I'll put the pictures up, around my room. So if you felt like putting up like 1 or 2 of them in a freaking college or a laundromat or a library, it might get taken down, but people will see it and people will be like, what the hell is this shit? So yeah, it's just a hypothetical question to get people to think and brainstorm and such. So yeah, let me open it right here. Okay. So all right, so there's a couple funny ones that are just like, where would you hang up the pictures? On my wall. Thanks. All right.
I'd hang it up on your wall.
Well, I'd hang it up on your mom. Okay. So this guy, I like this guy's answer. Well, technically he put it in different areas because he listed it under extra comments, but he answered basically all the questions. So, Mr. Z, it says, I live in Mexico, and Mexico is a macho stereotype country, but in the middle to upper class, I've seen that girls have all the power. Some of my friends are virgins, as myself. I'm 22 and have suffered from girls only using us to buy them stuff and pay for them. I've seen how girls have it easy at clubs, as an example. They get free drinks, no cover. And if it needed to come to guys, buy them a drink for a drink for them and just leave, and they just leave. Oh my God. Like I said, I'm a virgin, kind of desperate, but I'm tired of seeing how girls could get sex whenever they want. They can use males to get them free stuff and get away with everything. I really like what you girls are doing, fighting for real equality. You girls are awesome, and I really admire how you girls defend yourselves from the feminazis' comments. I also hate stereotypes. Girls could make campaigns about fat shaming, but nobody cares for guys. I'm 5'5", and girls have rejected me for being short, but if a guy doesn't like a girl for being overweight, then he's discriminating. Sorry for my long-ass message, but I wanted to get it all out. If you girls let me, I would love to write an article for your blog. So I thought that,
nice. I do want to comment on one thing, because he said he was like only 5'5". You could definitely, like, I would say height is really not that big of an issue. Obviously, there's going to be some girls that are not going to want you that short. But my boyfriend, who I said I've been with for 12 years, he's actually 5'5". So you can find somebody who doesn't really like care about that, and as long as you show that, you know, your personality shines through and that you're a good person, and humor and confidence plays a key role in getting a girl, being able to have that humor and have that confidence. That's what will really do you way more than being some tall guy.
Also, by the way, find yourself a short chick, because we do exist. I'm 5'2". You're 5'5". You're fucking tall, man.
I'm 5'2" and a half. Yay,
motherfucker! You hit that half mark. I'm dead. I'm just dead 5'2". I haven't grown since I was 12.
I'm like 5'7".
I've met Unvarnished, and it's like when I look straight forward, I can't see her.
Being short. Being short isn't bad.
I'm adorable.
Well, you know, it's actually unfortunate, but, you know, I'm Unvarnished. You say that it's not important for you, and that's fantastic. But, you know, there's also the fact that you're 5'2" and he's 5'5". A lot of women don't want to date a man who's shorter than them.
Yeah, but what I'm saying though is, like, if a guy was shorter than me or like tall as me, it wouldn't bother me as much, as long as he had, like, if my boyfriend was like 5 foot, it really wouldn't bother me as much, because it's his loyalty, his personality, his humor, it's all that stuff that I like. And actually, I was like in high school stuff, my boyfriend's kind of like hairy, like, you know, just saying. So like hairy chest, a little bit hairy back, not super hairy back, but he's got hairy back and he's got hairy chest and stuff. And I didn't like a lot of hair, but because like I didn't date guys with a lot of hair or anything like that. But because of who he was and how he presented himself, and he pursued me, and all the combination of things that I like in a guy, it's like, well, that's really superficial. I don't really care about that. I'm gonna date this guy.
Yeah, because looks don't matter all the time.
Well, that was the
point.
point.
Like me. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, that was the point that I was going to get at, though. That yes, there are a lot of women out there that are superficial, and that the best thing you can do, and I wish someone had told this to me when I was in my early 20s, because then my life would have been much, much differently. That, yeah, it sucks now that girls are rejecting you, but the best thing you can do for yourself is to work on yourself. You know, if girls don't want to have sex with you now, as rough as that is, because I didn't lose my virginity until I was 19, so I kind of understand being a late starter into my sex life. Focus on you right now. Get educated, get a good job, build up your confidence, and then the right woman will be available to you. And she's not going to be someone who's only going to want you for, you know, just to buy her a drink. She's going to want to be someone who wants to build something with you. And there are still plenty of women out there who will want that, but they will only want that if you yourself are a more complete person.
Well, yeah, and also there's the fact of the older a woman gets, the more the you're financially secure and independent.
Yeah.
You know, you're looking better and better than that nice guy who works at Starbucks who happens to have a six-pack.
Oh,
Well,
that's
you know, muscle turns to fat, so that six pack is now something else.
funny.
It becomes a keg. But hey, if the guy's working on Wall Street and making bank, suddenly that financial security looks a whole lot more attractive than the other guy.
True.
Yeah, but I will say, unless I have to throw this out there, unless he wins the genetic lottery, like one of my friends did, who was in his 40s and still has a six pack.
We gotta work hard. You gotta work
Genetic
hard for
lottery.
that to maintain that. A bit,
Oh,
I
he
would
does.
think.
He goes
Yeah, there you go.
to
He
the
works
gym
hard.
like 6 hours every single day.
There you
My
go. You gotta work hard on yourself.
But he's also really well off and has a farm and everything and does like a lot of physical work outside as well. But he's just
there
like
you go.
he's just like he fucking won the genetic lottery. I'm like, how are you not married? And he's like, women suck. That's what.
That's funny. Oh my goodness. Okay,
But-
so we got two more winners. Do
Okay,
you want
cool.
me to list
Yes.
off another one? Okay, so I like this one a lot. By the way, I think I'll send an email out to each of these people who are winning a calendar, but you know, you also got to make sure that you write us back. Just saying. So yeah, if they don't listen to this live stream, I will reach out to them, but just make sure that you look out for that if you are watching. So I believe this is a girl, Miss I, and I really like the short answer that she gave for where would you hang up pictures from the calendar. She said, I'd wear it around my neck 24/7. I just thought that was great. And then as far as why men's issues are important to you, she said, I've always been a strong advocate for both male and female rights. To provide a quick bit of background information, I'm half British and Filipino, and I grew up in Southeast Asia, where I and many of my peers of both genders were victims of sexual assault, homophobia, racism, etc. Upon moving to the UK in my teen years, I was introduced to the SJW movement, and while initially being happy to see that people were talking about issues that were still so taboo in my home country, I was shocked to hear how these women were fighting for instance, support for women who have been abused and raped, but shaming and ignoring male victims. It was absolutely disgusting, and since then, I've been trying to do my part to ensure men are also being heard. Additionally, I would also love a calendar because the women doing it are beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
So I thought that was really sweet.
That was sweet. I like that. And I'm glad she was able to come. Well, I don't live in the UK, but go to the UK and you know see and meet like at least a bunch of like more open people. Though it's like you know because there are other people besides the SJW crowd that like really care about these things, and so it's good to meet those kind of people.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, unfortunately, guys, I have to head off. It was so wonderful seeing y'all again. Sorry I thought I'd just pop by. And,
Bye.
Yeah,
Take
I
care.
actually have
Thanks
to
for
head off.
coming.
I actually have to
no
head
problem.
off too.
Love you, Medusa.
Love you, Ram.
Well, you'll
Let
have
me
to
do
come
my
on again
thing.
sometime.
And thank you guys for doing this. I do have to head off too because I have a show in 10 minutes. So I love you. And everyone listening, buy a calendar. It does go for a good cause.
Yes.
Right.
Talk to you later, Mad Cat Medusa.
See you later.
Bye, Ren.
All right. So this one, okay, I just wanted to say this one was really funny. Those other two that I mentioned, those are both getting a calendar. This one, this was just funny. Why are men's issues important to you? Because I'm a man. Thank you.
Very to the point.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see.
Was that all of them?
No, I gotta find the right ones because I thought I saved them all in a Word document, but they didn't save for some reason. I know. I think there's one more or two. Wait. What's this one? Yeah, I guess the other two are kind of like in between, but you said that we were gonna do four, didn't you, Mecca?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll read these next two off. He did link himself as Thick Life on Twitter. Okay, so Mr. Thick Life said that men's issues are important to him because traditionally and evolutionarily, men tend to be the builders of society and tend to pay the price for it. It's not about being better than women, but to be told you're destined to be a rapist or a sexual harasser just because you have a penis really grinds my gears.
Yeah, I hate that. I absolutely hate that when feminists and SJWs or whatever like say that kind of stuff. And I definitely agree that like men really build societies and stuff, and it's for women and for
exactly, and children.
Yeah, it's for women and families and stuff. And without women, I don't think men would have the motivation to build those things evolutionary wise.
Actually, I disagree with that. If you've seen any Survivor show where you get a group of men together, they're more likely to just find a way to work together and get stuff done.
Okay, but if we look at men striving for success in the workplace, men who are married and have a family tend to strive for higher, whereas men that are unmarried tend to like make less.
That is true. And, you know, as the great Jeff Foxworthy said, there's only one thing that men really think about. I want a beer and see something naked.
But like, so I definitely agree with that building society. I feel like men and women play very important roles in society. They're just different ones, but they're both equally important in their own way.
I agree with that too, but I actually just made a post on Facebook related to this about the concept that we need to teach boys not to rape, which would lead to basically the suicide rate or the high depression rate amongst men. And I made a lot of assumptions, but in this calculation, like I kept rounding up and like, well, if the feminists are right, like 90% of rapes are not reported. I basically concluded that 200,000 men every year commit rape. It's nowhere near that, but that was just the number that I was giving. But then you consider that there's 320 million people in America, half of which are men. So I said 100 million men compared to the 200,000. We're talking about 0.2% of the population of men. And we're wanting to push this narrative of, oh, only men commit rape, or we have to teach men not to rape, when 99.8% of the male population doesn't rape.
I never liked that thing where we need to teach boys like not to rape. Like, cause I feel like if you're being a mom and whether you have a boy or a girl, you should just teach them to be a decent person, and then not raping just automatically kind of follows that. Obviously,
not killing, not raping.
Yeah, no killing, no raping. But you should like, to me, it just, I don't understand like why specifically rape and why they specifically boys, because you should just all encompass it into, hey, be a good person and care about others. Right. And then that's something you teach both boys and girls.
Well, I actually blame Mary Koss. She was responsible for the statistic like 1 in 4 women in their lifetime will be raped. But she was also responsible. She was also responsible for the statistic for the 2010 CDC study where she said that like 90% of all women who are raped by men. And of course, she misrepresented her data with Kathy Young in a Time article, actually dispelled a lot of what she said, because she chose to use force to penetrate as sexual assault and not define it as rape. But because so many feminists flock to this statistic by the CDC, there is this belief that women committing rape is at a very all-time low. But when you account for force to penetrate, men and women rape at the same rates. But because feminists believe that it's only men who are primarily doing the raping, then we need to teach boys not to rape. That's where their thinking comes from.
Yeah, like I forget. Something that I guess really upsets me is their statistics on things, and then they say them over and over again, and having to debunk them over and over and over again.
Well, it's even funnier than that, because a lot of them will quote it, but they don't know where the quote is from. Like, I was talking to a feminist on Twitter, and she started quoting this, and I'm like, where did you get that statistic? And she's like, well, I shouldn't have to do research for you. You should look it up. And then she exited the conversation. But I'm like, I do know where that statistic's from. Apparently you don't.
Yeah, you should, as a person, even if it's something that you want to be true, you should always do research into something, and not just automatically take the bias of what's working for your narrative as the truth and just quote it around or whatever. You should definitely do research, because I like to, when I'm debating something, I'll go and I'll look stuff up, even in the middle of the debate, to make sure what I'm saying, that I'm remembering it right, and that I've got a couple of sources at the very least, because so that I'm not just saying something that I'm trying to remember, if that makes sense.
Right. I do that too. Do you want me to list off the last winner?
Yes, please.
Okay, so it took me a minute to decide on the last one, just because these were a little shorter answers, but I thought that they were really interesting. So actually, wait, B. They said that men's issues are important to them because they are a male non-custodial parent filing for disability. And then, since all of these are short, I'm just going to read all of them. Where would you hang up pictures from the calendar so people can see it? In my computer room, so my wife and anyone that comes in here. And then they said, please list any please list any extra comments or contact info here. And they said, snakes don't have any arms. That's why they don't wear vests.
That's cute.
Oh, yeah, I thought that was very clever. So you get a calendar. So yeah, next year we're probably going to do another contest, something like that, depending. But yeah, I thought that was pretty fun, a fun way to get the calendars out there, and just be nice to people, because I like giving my fans things because I love you.
I like the idea of giving a few of them away too. I think that was really nice.
Yeah, well, you can honestly, if you want to have a choice, you can either have the regular calendar or the wall calendar, which is just like a poster kind of calendar, if you would prefer the wall calendar. But, I'll send out an email to all the winners and look out for those things for your calendar.
Well, while we still have viewers, I want to go ahead and make our next announcement. We have two more announcements to make. The next announcement, so we're now in the middle of the year. So we're going to drop down the price of the calendar from $15 to $10. We're also going to be closing the Indiegogo campaign, because that's still listed at $15. And once people have collected that reward, you can't change it thereafter. So we're going to close the Indiegogo campaign, and you can use our PayPal. Just send us $10. Please don't send it as a service, because then PayPal takes money out of that. But
well, unless you're out of the country, then add $5, $10. What was it?
Yeah, it was about $5 that we asked people to add, because it does actually cost us money to ship things overseas. Even just a simple calendar, it costs us extra money. But we still want to get these calendars out there, and we actually have quite a few remaining. We definitely got all the calendars out to the people who ordered them on the campaign. If you haven't received your calendar yet, please let us know.
Mm-hmm.
And we will try to get that out to you as soon as possible. But the thing of it is that the more money that we can make for this, the more that we can give to charity. Mm-hmm. And while we will be giving an amount to charity, because we haven't quite sold the number that we were hoping by now, we will be doing it as a lump sum near the end of the year to see if we can try to raise any more money to give to them.
Mm-hmm.
So that is still something that we are dedicated to doing. But based on all of the support that we've received, I need to switch this off, Modern Medusa. That was funny.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you're beautiful, so I don't think anyone will mind. But based on everything that has happened so far, I can confirm that we will have a 2020 calendar, that things are going to be moving forward. And before we talk about that, I'm going to have Modern Medusa talk to you about 2019 and what to expect for that.
All right. So, basically, for 2019, since I don't know, things just, have been, we've been, I don't know how to describe it. We're new at this kind of stuff, this is our first time doing it. So we had some obstacles to overcome, but we learned a lot. So for 2019, we're going to do a men's calendar. So meaning that it's going to be men who are prominent in the men's rights community. And as far as I don't know, you should explain it some more, because I don't know exactly the specifics of what we discussed.
That's fine. That's fine. We're kind of still in the deciding stages of this. We're not really committed to anything just yet, but we are accepting men to send in their pictures. If you send us your penis, you're disqualified. Putting that out there.
Yes, that's serious.
But what we're going to be doing is a digital calendar only. And primarily this is going to help with our 2020 calendar. Now, while I said that we're going to be able to do a 2020 calendar, the amount of money that we have reserved for it would be only a limited run. And, we're the kind of people that if we're going to do something, we want to go above and beyond. We really want to do something. So we're hoping that the 2019 calendar will allow us to do it. Now, as we get closer to the release of this, we will go ahead and discuss what the pricing will be, and what's really going to be involved with it. Mm-hmm. Now, we're doing this for two reasons. One, we really want to celebrate men in this. Mm-hmm. But face it, it's something I said. It's like, whether you're gay, straight, man, woman, whatever, everyone loves boobs. And that's going to be a seller. Sex sells. And unfortunately, we live in a society where the sexual value of a man is a great deal less than women. That was one of the reasons we went with women for the first year. So, but we want to do men, but we don't know how well it's going to be received. That's why we're doing a digital only version to see if there's any interest at all in having men be in a calendar. But the second reason that we're doing this is one of the criticisms we received when we released the 2018 calendar is like, oh, well, you're only just trying to exploit men to make money off of it. And it's like, no, we're not making any money off of this. But it was the basic idea that if this is a thing for men about their issues, shouldn't we have male models? And we would love to. In fact, we would love to do a 2020 release where we have men and women intermixed, or 2 separate calendars, one for men, one for women. You know, we would love to do that, but we don't know if anyone would actually buy a men's calendar. So that's why we're going to just tip our toe into the water and see if anyone would actually be interested.
Yeah. Well, we want to hear from the fans. We want you guys to tell us, you know, what are some digital or, you know, things that you can send over the computer, basically, not in the mail, that you would like as rewards, such as printable wall calendars, postcards. We can do stuff like that, you know, not just a digital calendar, but you know, there's lots of options that we can do. But also for 2020, you know, tell us what you like. Did you like the well, actually, I did make a survey, so this is gonna be something that you can tell us. But if you want to just tell us in the comments or email us at lovelyladiescalendar@gmail.com, or, well, lovelyladiescalendar@gmail.com is mostly for submissions, but then lovely ladies of the men's movement at gmail.com, you can send us whatever, you know, opinions, ideas, whatever you like. So if you want to tell us what you liked or what you would like to see for next year's calendar, for 2020, for you know, anything, like if you can think of like something that you would like it can be anything, like a sticker or a I don't know, a freaking bandana, I don't know, whatever you like, give us ideas, and if enough people think that it's a good idea, then we might do it. We want to hear your feedback, because, you know, this is basically by the fans, for the fans, and for men's issues. You know, we just want to be successful for you guys, pretty much.
But at the same time, we want to use this opportunity to spread the word about what it is that we're doing, what we are fighting for. And I don't know how successful we have been in that, but I think a lot of people appreciated that we tried. You know, a lot of people criticized us, like, you know, it's like, well, you're just doing this or you're doing that, or this is such a horrible idea. And it's like, what are you doing? What are you doing other than sitting on a computer complaining about how someone else did something? You know, one of the complaints we received is, all the girls are really ugly. It's like, okay, how about you go out and make a calendar and use only the women you think are beautiful? What's stopping you? Because, you know, I'm a disabled man. I can't work. I can't really do anything with my life. And with 2 other people, we created a calendar, an actual physical calendar you can touch. That features women, features facts about men, and features the most obscure holidays possible. I mean, like National Hot Dog Day.
Beer Can Appreciation Day.
Yes. I mean, I put in the work. Well, all 3 of us put into the work, and we produced something. You know, and at the end of the day, even if this was an abject failure, at least I tried. And I think that's the lesson that I want everyone to take away from this is, you know, we didn't even think that this was going to be possible. When we first started this campaign, we're like, well, maybe we'll make $500. Maybe after 30 days, we'll get to that point. And we ended up reaching 600% of our asking amount. That was actually almost 666%. I mean, if someone donated $20 right now, it would be 666.
Awesome.
So somebody should get on that real quick.
$20 right now. So yeah, go over to the Indiegogo before it closes at the end of the month, because that's going to be dead and gone for next year and 2020. So we'll see. But you'll still be able to get calendars. You'll just have to go to the PayPal instead of the Indiegogo. But if you want to get them from Indiegogo, go to Indiegogo and buy them there. Oh.
That was beautiful. But we are accepting submissions from men. So just go ahead and send us some of your pictures. Let us know that you're interested in appearing in it. We're not selecting who will be in the calendar, although there's rumored that I will be in the calendar. But I think it's a little nepotism at that point.
Are you should do what I did, where you have that just showing a little bit of cleavage, but still innocent. I think that'll make the women go crazy.
Definitely dress up like a cat.
No.
Meow.
I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just like, how do I appear sexy? I don't know how to do that. So it'll be an interesting experience.
That's the thing about a men's calendar, is that it would be funny and sexy at the same time, because
you can definitely, if you're not confident, like if any guys are out there like and they want to do it and they're not confident that they really look super sexy or anything, you can definitely take like a more humorous approach, which in and of itself is very attractive.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
I know I'm not like, and I'm not trying to come down on myself, but I know I'm not the fit description of what is considered sexy in this country or even in this world. But if there's one thing that I have plenty of, it's confidence.
Yeah. There he goes, flashing his titties again, you whore. Yeah, I think he'll do great in the calendar. But yeah, one thing, I guess, were there any rules that we wanted to give out for the pictures other than no dick pics for now?
Well, these are just submission pictures. Certainly when we are ready to put you on the calendar, we'll discuss more of the rules. But I believe for like the 2018 calendar, we asked people not to use a green screen. Was that correct?
Well, that was mostly just for the actual photos, like the actual calendar photos. We expect the calendar photos to be much more high quality than your submission photos, but the submission photos can be basically anything really, as long as it shows off you, either your body, not meaning your body, but like, like a full body photo, a profile photo, and then like it doesn't have to be super sexy. It doesn't have to be pinup style, but if it is in pinup style, you might have like we might get more of an idea of what you would look like in the calendar. So yeah.
Sending us a picture that is just your face like this, that doesn't help us. Show off your body.
Oh my god.
Are you in your underwear? Oh, that's like my boyfriend. He sits at his, like, he hangs out all day in his like underwear and a shirt.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, have fun with it. We don't know what we're going to really select right now. We don't know what to expect from this. So we ask people out there, the men who want to submit to this, have fun with it. Do all sorts of things. Maybe show your bare chest. Maybe dress as one of the village people. Maybe look professional. I mean, Unvarnished Void here proved that you didn't need to be like a pinup model like Ren was. I mean, Ren, her picture was very wonderful and definitely fits the expectation of what a pinup calendar model would look like. But Unvarnished here, she really broke the mold on that. It's like, I'm going to go for a classy beauty, and we loved it.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no, we don't really have a set expectation other than no penis shots of what to do. So, you know, just be creative, try a bunch of different things and send it in to us. And we will figure out which one that we think you did the best and ask you to do more of that.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say maybe no nudity, man butts, not so offensive, I don't think. So if you want to show a little crack, I think that would be acceptable. Oh, that would be actually really funny. I can imagine that, especially if it was like one of the bigger guys. Or I swear to God, if we got like someone like Sargon to do it, I know we wouldn't, but like someone like him, that would be hilarious. Like one of those shots of the girl on the sunscreen bottle with the dog pulling away her towel or whatever.
Oh my God! Now, like, I have that image of Sargon. Thanks.
Yeah, I think I need some therapy now.
Oh, come on! Like that wouldn't make you moist.
Yes, it's called night sweats.
But did you want to mention about the content we're going to put on the photos for the calendar?
Yeah, I was about to mention that. Now, in 2018, we featured, and actually 2017, we featured facts related to men's issues. And we're probably going to do that for 2020. We haven't quite decided yet. But for 2019, what we'd like to do, since we're featuring men within the movement, what we'd like to do is have them give us a quote, like 1 to 3 sentences, basically, about something related to men's rights, where why did they join into it, or you know what they're hoping for, something along those lines. And we want to use that next to their picture, so when people see the calendar, they can get something more personable about what the men's movement means to each of these people.
Yeah, I think that'll be really interesting. So if you want to like come up with a little something that you think you might put on there, it doesn't have to be, you know, what you actually use, but if you want to send it something along with your pictures, like, oh, I would talk about blah blah blah, then, you know, feel free, because that just, you know, gives us more of an idea of what the final picture will look like. So yeah, I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. Send all that to lovelyladiescalendar@gmail.com. That's the official email now.
And guys, I want to put this out there. If I come to you asking you to send pictures to me, know that it's just for the calendar. I'm not hitting on you.
Yet.
Gotta watch Mad Cat.
Well, you know, there are some men I find attractive that I would suck their dick for. So, I mean.
Oh my God. You're funny. Yeah, I would love to have.
I think Vanessa is now imagining me sucking dick right now. So.
No, I was thinking about the guys who I don't who I could imagine you that you would, not that you are, that you would. But the immediate thought that came to mind was Andy Worski. I don't know why. But
Andy would be down for it.
Oh, well, I'll only do Andy Worski if I can also do Chris at the same time.
Oh,
that
yeah,
Asian Chris.
Yeah. Asian Chris. That's too funny. Yeah, you both have the same name.
I'm a white Chris, so.
Oh, you racist.
Yeah,
we had back in high school, like we had a couple people named Mike, and we had Asian Mike, as that's what we called him.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
And then we had a couple people named Rob, and then one of them was Mohawk Rob.
Someone that I would like to see submit to the calendar is your boy Pat. I do want to see if he would be interested.
Not that I really want to see Pat in a sexy way, but I think he would be a great addition.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know there's a lot of ladies out there who would enjoy some, big buff chocolate in the in the calendar. Because I was about to say, all ages over 18 and not genders, dumbass, races are welcome. Only one gender though, it has to be male. Oh, sorry, ladies. Next year it's okay, but you can still start sending us your pictures, ladies, if you want to be part of 2020. And even if we don't start getting the ball rolling until 2020 for the calendar, you could still have your photos featured on our website, on our Facebook page, stuff like that. So, if you want to tell your story and possibly be a model for the future, just tell us if you would also not mind us spreading your pictures and such on our website. So, yeah, there's lots of little things that we can do.
2020, like 100%.
Yeah,
because I found it so much fun. I want to do it again.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, Unvarnish and for all the former models, it will certainly be our goal to use new talent. However, one of the things we would like to do that we're not really able to do right now is we would like to have an 18-month calendar. That is one of our goals. And if we do well with the 2019 calendar, that might be a very real possibility. And in which case, we might include some former models from the 2018 calendar for the 2020. So do whatever you can. Be sure to pimp us on Varnish.
Yeah,
I will. You're on the Aerith Radio website, like a link to the lovely ladies, because I do the radio show, and so we have. Radio show? I do I'm the co-host on a radio show, Aerith Radio.
Oh, okay.
And so we've got the link to the lovely ladies on the website, aerithradio.co.uk. Awesome. Plug that.
Aww, that's so cool.
You should have Vanessa on one of your shows.
Yes, if any of the lovely ladies or anybody wants to come on the show, it is every Friday. We'll accept anyone, even a fan like watching now. If you guys want to come on the show, that's awesome. You just have to have a Discord so we can bring you on, because that's what where we host it is through Discord. So cool. Yeah, we always have guests. It's every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern, and
awesome.
then we play the cat dating game after the show which is on our YouTube.
Now, will I have a special advantage being Madcap?
Yeah, there you go.
And Unvarnished left.
Oh no! She escaped.
Sorry about that. I left for a second.
We didn't even notice.
Oh, okay.
No, we
Actually,
did.
That's a lie. We did notice.
But yeah, so everybody, people who submitted to win the calendar, I will look out for the email. People who want to submit photos for the future calendars, please email us at lovelyladiescalendar@gmail.com. Opinions and ideas go to Lovely Ladies of the Men's Movement at gmail.com. And if you want to, or you could always, message us on Twitter. It doesn't matter. But also, if you want to be a part of writing articles or just submit one article, it doesn't matter. If you would like to submit a piece for our website, then, send it to our email and we'll review it. We'll let you know if we like it. And if it's interesting and relevant to men's issues, then we'll publish it on our website. So yeah, we're looking for people who would be interested in that. And we also just started a new Facebook page for the Lovely Ladies of the Men's Movement. That's what it's called. So go like that as well. And then there's the group, Lovely Ladies and Lads of the Men's Movement as well, or for men's issues, one of those on Facebook.
We're also starting a Discord channel. We actually have it already set up, but it just features the three of us. But we're going to be opening that up to the public. So, you know, maybe a lovely lady might be in there for you to chat with, or maybe it'll just be me. I don't know. But we do want to build a community off of this. Now, we do kind of apologize for the website. We haven't been able to develop that as well as we can. I'm the web admin for that. And if you know anything of what my last year has been like, it's been like stress on top of stress on top of stress.
Same.
But that's not really an excuse. I know that we want to work for our fans. We want to help support the movement. So starting in July, you're going to see some changes with the website. We're going to be a lot more active with the website. We're going to start doing articles, as Modern Medusa suggested. We're going to start revamping it, and hopefully by the 2019 calendar's release, we're going to have a storefront, so you don't necessarily have to use our PayPal to purchase our calendar. You can just go to the storefront and fill out your information from there to get it.
Mm-hmm. That would be neat. But yeah, for now, it's Indiegogo, PayPal, and if you want shirts with Lovely Ladies stuff on it, then you go to teespring.com/stores/LL of MM. So yeah, all that good stuff. But that's what we're working towards right now, just baby steps.
But perhaps the best way to stay up to date on everything going on is the Facebook page as well as Twitter. That's where we do most of our interactions with the world. So that's the best place to find out any information. But we want to expand this, and we're also looking for volunteers who also want to help out. So like that individual from Mexico who said he wanted to write an article, we're welcoming for that. We would like to hear from the fans. And if they have an article idea, you know, that's something. I'm going to be an editor for the website. So, you know, send it to the email that Vanessa stated. I'll take a look at it, give you some notes. But we want to hear from all of you. As much as we enjoy doing this, I mean, I got like 12 women to send me their pictures. As much as we enjoy doing it, we want this to be for the fans. We want it to be for the community. We want to do it to push forward men's rights, because a lot of people feel like the movement has kind of stalled, and the only way we get things moving forward is if we come together as a community and push things forward.
Oh, I think we did a great job catching the attention of Barcroft and the local news near me. I think that was awesome. And, you know, articles like on, what was it, the Daily News and Metro and New York Post, that was, you know, great. So I think just the more that we do, the more that we reach out and, you know, do events and stuff like that, I think the more people will hear about it.
Are you going to have like another event this year?
Well, we were discussing what we might do this year, just because last year, since it was on the beach, you know, it was less, you know, there was just less people around. So I was thinking maybe this year we could possibly do something more like a protest or something on a busy street with some signs, and, you know, also have information and pamphlets about the calendars, or something kind of similar to that. I don't know if it'll necessarily be a protest per se, but you know, that's just something I had an idea about. Just have more signs that actually like say something to catch attention.
Yeah, I have such a like an adverse like reaction when somebody's like protest. I'm like, because of feminists and SJWs.
Right? True. Yeah.
Well, I also have difficulty with it because of like the protest that Black Lives Matter did, where they just stopped traffic. And
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
yeah,
like,
I know.
That's
get your
that's like
message
the kind
across,
of
but-
images that I have. Like,
Yeah, this
of
would be a
protesters now.
a very small, like, not threatening, invasive kind of protest. Like, that's why I said not necessarily a protest per se, because we'd basically just be standing there with signs and like giving information. We wouldn't be like screaming or like disrupting anything, because that's how you get escorted away by police. I mean, I literally, one day I was downtown and we watched these feminists who are called like Women of Wilmington, which is the town that I live near, and they were holding like drums and sticks and stuff and banging them and screaming
Oh, my
loudly.
God. See,
And
yeah,
then-
that's like,
yeah, but we came around the block and then they were gone. I was like, yep, they got kicked off.
but you know, like what might be like a really cute idea is
What?
like maybe like doing like a baking thing, and then you can hand
I
out
was thinking
pamphlets
that too.
and, like using or cupcakes and like lemonade or
Uh-huh.
something, and then you can use the extra money for the charity as well.
Right.
From
I was
that,
thinking about that, but the only problem is that we would have to find a private residence because we couldn't do it in public. So it would probably like I'm trying to think of like what to sell something you'd have to be on a private property, but just to be there you can go anywhere. So that's or we could do multiple events. Honestly, I could do like a private bake sale and calendar sale, and I could do a private or in a public protest kind of thing, you know. And but I do want to get this out. I was thinking maybe one day in the future, if we ever make enough money, I think it would be really cool for the lovely ladies to have a booth at VidCon.
And
Because I've never been, and I don't know if I'll ever be going, but if I did, it would probably be for the lovely ladies.
And that would actually be one of my goals for 2020 is to do a booth at VidCom representing the lovely ladies. And I think that at the very least, having me, Ren, and Medusa appear there as the three co-creators, and any other models who want to be there as well. But I have an idea for you, and just follow me on this. Car wash protest.
oh,
Gosh,
I kinda
that's
like
a good
that.
idea.
I think
Well,
that's
we
a
just
really-
have to get enough people, though. So yeah, that's a good idea. I have to find enough women who'd be up for it.
I
was
would be
just
up for it.
joking, but-
My only problem is like I have a hard time getting places. I don't have a driver's license. I don't drive.
Right.
When I say that, by the way, I've never like got in trouble and had my driver license. I've never had a driver's license. I don't drive. So
Wait, they allow women to have driver's license now?
I have anxiety with driving.
I totally understand.
So do I have anxiety when women drive as well.
Yes, see? You probably don't want me on the road. No, so like I always have a hard time getting places, but like if I could have a ride to a place, I would be totally up for it.
Right. Well, that's the thing. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be where I live, like it was last time. We just did that out of convenience because it was like, you know, I guess me and Ren are like the main ladies, so we just kind of chose to do it in the easiest venue, and it was next to the beach, so I thought that would just be cool. And it was really cool, especially for the Barcroft video, but it just didn't like get enough attention, I don't think, from the public. So I thought that, you know, doing something, but that's the thing, we can travel to different places. I personally don't like driving long distances because it makes my back hurt a lot, but if it was
I think
somewhere
you do that.
but well, there's also options of buses, trains, and planes. So like there's if there was somewhere that multiple women could meet up somewhere in America, you know, I would have no problem if we were able to raise enough money to go and meet up there
Come
and
to
do something.
Ohio.
I've been to Ohio.
Well,
Yes, I know you haven't. That's where we met, but that's my range. At least right now.
Right.
I could go to
Well,
like
my
a stay
mom-
over. I just need a ride. Anywhere that I go, I would need a ride, and then
Yeah.
if I have to stay somewhere, I would need a place to stay.
Well, here's the
Yeah.
other thing is that you're kind of thinking of trying to get everyone together in one place. And that is certainly what I want for the future, whether we go to VidCon or we create our own con. But, you know, with a protest, if that was the option that we wanted to go with, we don't have to just do that in one location. We could try
That's
to
true.
encourage people across the world, but maybe just across the United States, to do protest somewhere. That if they can get enough
That would be
people
really
in their
cool.
area to join them, we can just do this as an event across the world.
That's a good idea. Yeah, we should do that for the on the Facebook page. We can create an event and just make it like the International Men's Issues protests and have like a day or a weekend for it and just try and make as big of an impact as possible and just invite everyone. That would be really cool. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, for the future, I definitely want to get more lovely ladies together. If not at VidCon, then for something, you know, pretty cool. Because we could even do, like, if we got enough ladies together and could have them stay in one place for a little bit, we could do multiple things, like do a
Porno.
live stream, do a car wash, do do a bake sale. You know, we could do whatever, or we could just
I'm really
go
into
out
the
and-
I'm really into the car wash and bake sale idea because like that
Yeah,
just
I
sounds
think that's
fun, and I love to cook. So
yeah.
I don't know why. Well, you know, you mentioned cupcakes, and I just can't help but picture that, like, I don't know, what was it, like 5 years ago, 10 years ago, that the woman who decided to bake cupcakes for her daughter's second grade class, and she put vaginas all over the
Yeah.
cupcakes.
oh my god, no.
I don't want you to do that, but it's just the image that comes to my mind. It's like maybe you can do little.
No, just put boobies on it instead.
There you go.
Well, with cupcakes, all you have to do is just put a dot in the middle of each one.
yeah, well, we could put an M&M, just M&M.
Oh my god, that would be so funny. that would be great, honestly. Oh, but yeah. Oh, did we want to mention what kind of charity we wanted to do next?
Well, we're still exploring this, and
Well, yeah,
you know,
we're
if
exploring.
anyone has any suggestions,
For
we
a charity.
are definitely welcoming. We only chose the one that we did, one, because we wanted to support veterans very badly, but two, I trust Mercedes Carrera was the one who recommended it to us, and I know she's someone who wouldn't support something unless she herself vetted it, so that's why we chose Vets Mentoring Vets. One of the complaints we got with the charity we selected is, oh, that's just American based. So it alienated some of our overseas patrons, and we didn't mean to alienate you. We were just like, we had very little time. We had to pick a charity. I didn't have time to vet them. Now I do have time to vet them. But we want to do something that's like all-encompassing men, that even if it's a US based charity, that if it like had some sort of breakthrough, it would benefit the world. Like, you know, doing a charity for prostate exams or prostate cancer rather, or something along those lines, something that affects men that would be of benefit to the world itself.
Yeah, I think that would be a really cool thing to do, especially you know, it's a really sad thing to have to suffer from a disease and then not really be able to do anything about it. And you know, especially something like cancer, because you know, there are different diseases that affect men and women differently, but you know,
Well, if I remember from my research for Men's Issue, when it comes to prostate cancer, there is no early detection system, but they hypothesize that men actually have the early stages of prostate cancer for many years before they finally get prostate cancer. If we could develop an early detection system for that, then we might be able to eliminate it before it starts.
I didn't know that, because like I thought, you know, guys get their prostate checked, and I thought that was the early detection for that.
No, it's not.
Someone in the comments. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Well, I just want to finish this thought though. But the problem with prostate cancer, a lot of feminists will argue about why there's not so much research for it, is that unlike breast cancer, and I agree with this, breast cancer can happen to a woman at any age. Prostate cancer tends to only happen to older men beyond their 50s. But still, human life is
still
human
not really
life.
an excuse, though. Yeah.
And it could happen
But
to people.
someone-
Oh, sorry. No, that is my bad. I interrupted you. I'm sorry. Go ahead and read the
I
comments.
know, I'm terrible. All right. So someone in the comments just said, why not testicular and prostate cancers? We haven't decided on a specific one yet. Testicular cancer, I'm not too familiar with compared to prostate cancer. But you know, they're both male specific diseases that are worth looking into. We'll just have to look more into that. If there was one charity just for, you know, male diseases, that's probably what we would pick. But, you know, we'd have to probably pick a specific disease just because, you know, multiple charities would be difficult to first of all difficult to manage, but then, you know, it would be less money given to them, you know. So if we raise a lot and then give it in a lump sum, I think it would be more beneficial.
Like I said, we're going to be vetting, but if anyone has any recommendations on a specific charity for us to look into, we're going to do that. And then me, Ren, and Medusa, we're just going to sit down and decide which one we want to do. But our focus, again, will be on, and it may not even be a medical related charity, but we definitely want to make a charity that benefits men directly. Because, you know, another complaint that someone made about vets mentoring vets is it's not primarily men that they help. They can also help women. And while that's true, you know, the majority of the men who come out of the military needing help getting reacquainted with society again and getting a top tier job and being able to take care of themselves are men, and that's why we chose it. But it's also a charity that helps women. And while we don't believe in a zero-sum game that, you know, if we inadvertently help women that's somehow bad, we do want to try to help men more specifically.
The person in the comments said that apparently the Movember Foundation does work with prostate cancer, testicular cancer, and mental health, including suicide prevention. So I didn't know that.
That's really good.
I thought they were just mostly suicide and prostate cancer, but that's pretty cool. So we'll definitely take in all your suggestions for sure.
We'll definitely look into the Movember one. For those who don't know, Movember is also the one that recommends that men shave their facial hair for the month of November to show support for men.
I'm excited.
So yeah, that's probably a very good one to look into. Thank you, M. Vega, for that suggestion. So I think that's all the announcements we wanted to make.
Caught up.
So you being kind of on the outside unvarnished, what do you think of all the things that we've talked about today, all of our future plans?
Well, I'm excited, and some of them I definitely would want to participate in if I'm able. So, and it makes me excited. And I like the idea for the men men's calendar for using men in the calendar, and I hope you guys get like a lot of submissions, and I'll try and see like if I can ask some of the guys that I know online if they would like to submit as well, and see if I could help you guys out in that regard.
Yeah, if anybody thinks of someone that they want to be in the calendar, message them and be like, hey, be in this calendar. Because, like, I mean, I can imagine if enough people came to, like, Sofane or
and she's frozen.
Yeah, she's frozen.
Wait, did I?
Yeah, you froze.
I don't know
a
what's happening. My hotspot is literally like right here, and it's being laggy as hell. I don't know why.
Yeah, my hotspot's been laggy just looking at you. What? Oh, I didn't mean that out loud.
We should see if the comment section has any questions, maybe specific questions.
Well, I'm looking at the chat right now, and the only person we really have in there is Mwega. I thought that was a V. It's Wega. He was the one who suggested the Movember Foundation as well as testicular and prostate cancers.
Yeah, I do actually. I really like that, personally.
Yeah.
Well, I just, learned that they do all of that. I just thought they did the like shave your beard off and try to raise awareness. But if they actually, collect money and try to help out all of these specific things, then hell yeah. I mean, right there, prostate, testicular, mental health, and suicide prevention, that's really the top 4 issues right there for men. So yeah. I mean, the only other thing that I can think of that men need a lot of help with is homelessness.
Right.
And I'm willing to bet they have something to do with that as well. So,
if somebody would definitely like to help out homeless men, a really good suggestion I have: if you go to your local fabric store and you buy a fleece blanket, about 1.5 yards of it, and then you just trim off the edges. So you buy the fleece fabric, okay? You trim off the edges of it. So if you go to your Joann's Fabrics, we'll have like a 50 or 60% sale a lot of the times on their fleece. Just buy 1.5 yards of it, trim off the edges of it. You'll want about that much will make a lap blanket, and it's really perfect donation for homeless men or homeless people in general. And I've done it for the homeless, and I've done it for an animal shelter where I get like 1 yard of the fabric for the animal shelter. So if you want to do something like that and help out your local homeless shelter, or men as well, or also women, that is a very good way to contribute and help out.
Another way, and something that homeless people need actually quite a lot of, is socks and underwear. I mean, a lot of people, when they donate clothes, they think, well, I'll just give a t-shirt. Well, everyone gives a t-shirt. But, having socks and underwear actually help out a lot. So, I mean, I know when I was homeless, we would just go to the local church every week to get supplies, and that's a lot of what they gave. They gave deodorant, socks, underwear, what have you. So, and I mean, it's like me, I had a backpack, but I could only fit so much stuff in there. So it's just like having those extra things really made a difference. So,
I've thought of trying to just raise a little money just to give out like packs of stuff like that to the homeless people around my area, just because there's so many of them. And like some of the times, you might think like, oh, that person doesn't really look like they're homeless, but like in a lot of the people in my town, like there's this one guy who like carries his oxygen tank with him everywhere and begs for money. So like obviously people like that really need help. So like I've thought about just taking water, deodorant, socks, underwear, soap, stuff like that to them. And or also there's the GoFundMe page to try and get a domestic violence shelter erected in somewhere in this area where I live. So I've that's just like that's like a future hope, I guess, not really a a something I can fundraise for directly. But you know, that if that's something that you're interested in, there's a petition and a fundraiser for a domestic violence shelter in my area. But those are just a couple of things that I'm really wanting to push along with the calendar. So
yeah, this is all really great ideas, and you know, one of the things that I find inspiration from is Mercedes Carrera. That, you know, as successful of a person she is, she has a very social conscience. That she does what she can to help out. That she has a certain she puts a responsibility on herself, saying, "I can do something to help people. I'm going to go and help people." And that's what this movement needs. Yeah, a lot of us sit around talking about things and trying to raise awareness, but what this movement needs is action.
Mhm.
And this calendar was, you know, just the first step of that action. And like we said, we want to build a community, but we also want to like go out there and have protests, go out there and, you know, help the homeless or what have you. If there's an opportunity to do something, we want to do it. But you know, the unfortunate thing is it does cost money on some of these things. Like just making a sign and doing protests, that doesn't really cost anything. But you know, being able to like maybe set up donuts and coffee for homeless people to come up, which I've seen in Philadelphia, and people really love that. You know, it costs money to be able to do those kind of things or to do any sort of other things. We want to do them, but you know, so we're hoping that we can not only do it ourselves, but encourage other people to do it. Because that's the only reason why feminists have prominence is they have the financial backing to do it. And if we're ever going to really get the world to take our movement seriously, we need to have the finances behind it. Now, we're not just saying, give us money, but what we are saying is if you have an opportunity to donate to a charity, do so.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
All right, so I think that's going to do it for us today. Is there any final remarks you want to make, Medusa?
Just make sure if you're interested in the calendar or submitting to the calendar, email lovelyladiescalendar@gmail.com. If you still want to buy one, either go to igg.me/lovely- or /@/lovely-ladies or paypal.me/lovelysladies. And now you can donate $10 to the PayPal. So if you want to go to the PayPal, send $10, and then you can get a calendar. And make sure you follow the new Facebook page as well. And if you haven't already, sign up for the website llofmm.com. So yeah, check out all that's good stuff down there.
And as a reminder, the Indiegogo page will be shut down at the end of June, as well as the paypal.me. Send us your address, because if you just give us $10, I mean, we'll try to message you, but it's like we don't know where to send it unless you tell us where to send it. So be sure to give us your address in a little note field saying, hey, I want a 2018 calendar, and please give me and send it to this address.
Yeah.
Are you hot?
Yeah, it's very hot in here. I'm dying. Oh goodness. I'm in North Carolina in the summer in a cement house, so it's a little humid in here.
What's humidity? I don't understand this concept. I'm in
you're
Arizona.
in Arizona. You should know.
No, we don't have humidity here.
Oh, you have dry heat. I forgot.
Yeah. I was born in Arizona, and I've lived there a couple of times. Yeah.
That's cool.
And she got out. I envy her.
Well, I escaped when I was little, and then I escaped for a second time. So.
Nice.
All right. So, how about you, Unvarnished? Anything you'd like to say or shill or compliment us on?
Well, again, I really am excited about all the ideas. I love the charity idea that the commenter suggested. I really do. And I'm excited about that as well. I do hope that that's one that is highly considered. And that, you know, you can contact me at any time and send me a DM or tweet at me or whatever at Unvarnished Void on Twitter. And then, of course, I have the Aerith Radio, which is aerithradio.co.uk, which I'm a co-host on Shooting the Shit. And if anybody wants to come on every Friday at 5, or you can listen to the show as well. And let me know if you enjoyed that.
You know, Unvarnished says you can contact her anytime, but when I call her up at like 3 a.m, she's like, I'm trying to sleep. I'm kidding. I don't have her phone number. Well, I thank everyone for coming out and watching this. I know this was a little bit longer than we anticipated, but we're just having a lot of fun. I think
we had a lot
Moki...
to talk about.
What's up?
I just said, well, we had a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we did. So I thank Moki for joining us. I also thank Reading Ren, one of the co-creators. Unvarnished, who was a model for this month, and you saw her lovely, lovely picture. Are you using the calendar to fan yourself?
I was.
That's just another use. Like, buy the calendar. It's a good fan.
Good for the
So
summertime.
lovely fan. Buy one now.
If only you had a parasol to keep over your head, Medusa.
Right? I need one.
So, yes, we are reducing the cost of the calendar. It is our hope that we can sell more of the calendars so we can end up giving more to charity at the end of the year. That is something that we are really pushing forward to do. But we're also going to be doing the 2019 calendar. It will be a digital release of male models. So anyone who's interested in sending us pictures, feel free to do so. And we will let you know who we will select for that. It will be a 12-month calendar. So we're looking for 12 models. Well, 11, because I'm going to be in it. I mean, I kind of have to be in it. But we're also looking for models for the 2020 calendar. We're confirmed now that we will have a 2020 calendar, but it'll be a limited run. Hoping that the 2019 calendar might help boost us up. We might do another Indiegogo campaign for the 2020 calendar. We'll just see how things go the closer we get to 2020. But there's a lot that we can do. We're looking to maybe do a protest. We're looking maybe get a table at VidCon. You know, or even host our own convention. We want to interact with the fans. We want to build up a community. We're going to be getting that website where it should be. So there's a lot of exciting things coming down the pipeline. So just stay tuned to us. Join us on Facebook. Join us on Twitter. We're going to be getting that Discord going out very soon. So yeah. And if any of you have suggestions, any of you want to write articles, any of you want to help volunteer in any way, contact us because we would love to talk to you.
Yeah.
Yes, what Medusa said. Yeah.
Yeah, represent. Lovely ladies.
Is it me or is anyone else looking at the crosses on her shirt?
Hey,
I noticed her shirt. I thought
my
it was
ears
cute.
Thank you.
I kind of feel less of a man because I'm not looking at her boobs. I'm just looking at the crosses.
It's because they're so mesmerizing.
Yeah.
They got little galaxies in them. I like this dress.
All right. So, of course, you can catch Modern Medusa on her own channel. just Modern Medusa. I believe that you're still suspended from doing live videos. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah, I don't know why, but I guess they just decided I don't deserve it anymore for some reason. I'm not really sure. So yeah, go to my Patreon if you want to support or buy some of my art.
Well, if you remember, this time last year I was suspended. So
yeah, right. I guess it's my turn now. And I'm not, and I'm completely banned from monetization as well. So
Oh,
what you gonna do?
I've given up on the concept of monetization. I'm just not.
I
that
never really had
popular.
any hopes for it, but I at least expected it to be like, you know, fair. Nah. That's not happening.
But you can catch her link down below in my comment fields to her channel. Also is my Patreon. While I am trying to get my life started, start trying to teach classes online and try to build myself up, I could still use a little help. I am saving up to get myself health insurance so I can maybe find a doctor to actually treat my condition. So my Patreon is down below there. If you don't want to do Patreon, I also have a PayPal. You can directly donate to me. I also have my book down below, How to Destroy a Woman Now, which is a parody of How to Destroy a Man Now on Amazon, which actually encourages you to do illegal actions. And that's the only reason why I want that book taken down. I mean, if it didn't, I couldn't complain. That's freedom of speech right there. But that actually encourages you to do illegal actions, which is not protected by the First Amendment. And my book, I'm hoping, causes enough of an outrage that feminists demand it taken down. Amazon complies. And then I'm like, hey, apparently you're sexist because you'll take down my book, but not the other. So buy my book to make it popular.
I'm on the cover of his book. You say you should buy it.
Yes, I use Vanessa doing the thing that the original book does, going shh.
Yeah.
So that's Modern Medusa.
Yeah.
She did a very good job too. I was impressed.
she's a very good model.
Well, thank you. So
And
you,
artist. She actually designed the cover herself. I think I put the lettering in though, but the rest of it was her.
I've seen Medusa's artwork before. I like it. It's very cute.
thank you.
I also do some art, but as
Yeah.
well.
Oh,
so
your little plushie thingies are so cute.
I make the because I do have an Etsy shop and I make like plushies and hair accessories, and I just now started selling shirts and like leggings and stuff as well on my
That's
Etsy,
awesome.
which is fun. I'm having fun designing that. Maybe I'll try to design something for the men's shirt for the lovely ladies men's rights. I don't know.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, I have a store for myself for Modern Medusa on Teespring and Rajon, and then there's the Lovely Ladies one that just has like basic stuff right now. But we haven't sold anything yet, even though people said that they wanted a shirt. But if you want a shirt, go to the Teespring store, LL of MM. But yeah, we're definitely.
I don't think I have any stuff that guys would want though. Like my stuff is
hey, girls or guys, doesn't really matter. But
yeah, you can buy my stuff if you're a guy, but it's very cutesy.
Yeah. But
Well, here's what I want. And when I get some money, this is what I'm going to try to do. I want Modern Medusa to make a picture of the ocean with a little platform on it. Then I will buy a plushie from Unvarnished to put it on there so it looks like it's in the ocean.
Yes.
The Venerable Beatty asked Modern Medusa, what should I do about the medium-sized spider in my room?
the what spider?
Medium size.
Kill it with fire. I've been dealing with bugs in my house and it's not fun, but they're all dying now.
My recommendation is to get a gecko.
Ah, fuck. Oh,
Depending on
sorry.
what kind of spider it is, you can catch and release it. Like, but if it's a poisonous one, you want to kill it because you don't want it to bite you. But
not necessarily. In Arizona, we have daddy longlegs, which are poisonous, but are not a danger to humans.
yeah, so like catch and release daddy longlegs and tarantulas. If you have a tarantula, catch and release it. Don't squish the tarantulas. They just hurt when they bite you. Just throw them outside. They're really good. Like, especially if you live in Arizona, don't like kill a bunch of the spiders because they're what help keep all the bugs away from you, like the mosquitoes and stuff.
All right, so that's going to do it for us today. Thank you once again to everyone who's come out. Thank you for all the support that we've gotten for the Lovely Ladies calendar. I mean, seriously, we asked for $500. We ended up getting $3,000. So we've been able to get the 2018 calendar, and it's guaranteed that we will have a 2020 calendar, but certainly we want to do more for this community. So we're going to be doing a 2019 calendar digital release that you will be able to show your support for. But definitely buy the 2018 calendar. I know half of the year is gone, but we're hoping that in the reduction of price, more people will buy it so we can end up giving more to charity.
Hey, just because it's later in the year doesn't mean you can't still use it for fat material. Just saying.
I mean, have you seen October? I mean, woo! I mean, if I didn't see Mother Medusa as my sister, I'd be fapping to that all the time.
Oh,
That was just kind of weird. Like, I mean, yeah,
See, and unlike feminists, we are all perfectly okay with you using the pictures for fat material.
right? Yeah, like we're not gonna say that that's sexist or misogynist or some shit. Like, obviously, that's like what at least half of the people who bought it for is like for that reason. Just to see pictures of nice ladies. But there's nothing wrong with that.
So wait a minute, Varnish, you're okay if I fap to your image?
Oh my
Yeah, I don't care.
god. I give you permission.
It doesn't bother me in the slightest. It's a compliment, if anything.
Yeah, true.
Just don't send us tribute shots. We don't need those.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, none of those.
Yeah, we're good on that.
Keep that to your personal self.
Yeah. I'm ready to go jump in the ocean or something. Like, damn.
I'm still trying to figure out how Varnish knows about tribute shots. But anyways, that does it for us today. Thank you, everyone. This is Mad Cat signing out.
Bye.
Bye.